Hello, beautiful soul. I want you to take a deep breath with me right now. Just breathe in slowly, and as you breathe out, let your shoulders drop. Feel yourself settling into this moment, into this space we're creating together. I'm so grateful you're here with me today, ready to open your heart to a new relationship with money and abundance. I know why you're here. I can feel it in my heart because I've been where you are. You're tired of struggling with money. You're exhausted from the constant worry, the sleepless nights wondering how you'll pay the bills, the feeling that no matter how hard you work, there's never enough. You've tried so many things, haven't you? You've read the books, maybe even tried some manifestation techniques, but somehow the money still feels elusive, like it's always just out of reach. Maybe you feel frustrated with yourself, thinking you're doing something wrong. Maybe you feel guilty for wanting more money, as if that makes you selfish or greedy. Or perhaps you feel hopeless, like abundance is something that happens to other people but never to you. Sweet one, I want you to know that every single feeling you have about money is valid. Your struggles are real, your fears are understandable, and your desire for financial freedom is not only natural but necessary for your well-being. What I've learned in my many years of helping people heal their lives is that money is not just about numbers in a bank account. Money is energy, pure and simple. It's a form of energy that flows through our lives, and just like any energy, it responds to our thoughts, our feelings, and our beliefs. When we understand this truth, everything begins to shift. The struggle doesn't have to be your permanent reality. The stress and anxiety around money can transform into ease and flow. Today, we're going to work together to create that transformation. We're going to explore the deep, often hidden places where your money struggles really begin, and we're going to gently, lovingly heal those places. This isn't about willpower or forcing yourself to think positively. This is about understanding the true source of your financial challenges and creating lasting change from the inside out. I want you to know that you deserve abundance. You deserve to live without the constant stress of financial worry. You deserve to feel safe and secure, to be able to give generously to the causes you care about, to provide well for yourself and your loved ones. This isn't wishful thinking, darling. This is your birthright. The universe is abundant, and you are part of that universe. The same creative force that grows the flowers and moves the tides wants to flow abundance into your life. But here's what I've discovered over the years. Most of our money problems aren't really about money at all. They're about the stories we tell ourselves, the beliefs we carry, and the emotional patterns we learned long before we ever earned our first dollar. Until we heal these deeper issues, we can work harder and harder, but the money will continue to slip through our fingers like water. That's why what we're doing together today is so powerful. We're not just looking at the surface of your financial situation. We're going to the root, to the very foundation of how you think and feel about money. And from that foundation, we're going to build something beautiful and lasting. The beautiful thing about this work is that you don't have to do it alone. I'm here with you, and so is the loving intelligence of the universe. You have support, sweet one. You have guidance, and you have everything within you that you need to create the financial abundance you desire. So let's begin this journey together with open hearts and minds. Let's approach your money story with curiosity rather than judgment, with compassion rather than criticism. Your willingness to be here, to look at these patterns and create change, is already a powerful step toward the abundance that's waiting for you. Now let's talk about something that affects every single one of us, whether we realize it or not. From the moment we're born, we begin absorbing messages about money. As tiny children, we watch and listen as the adults around us talk about money, worry about money, fight about money, or celebrate money. We don't understand the complex economics of adult life, but we absorb the emotions, the energy, the feelings that surround money in our homes. Think about the environment you grew up in, not with judgment, but with gentle curiosity. What was the emotional atmosphere around money when you were small? Was money a source of stress and tension in your household? Did your parents argue about bills? Did you hear phrases like, money doesn't grow on trees, or we can't afford that, or rich people are greedy? Or perhaps money was never discussed at all, creating a sense of mystery and confusion around it. These early experiences create what I call our money story. It's like a movie script that runs in the background of our minds, shaping how we think, feel, and behave around money throughout our entire lives. The fascinating thing is that this script often runs completely unconsciously. We think we're making logical, adult decisions about money, but we're actually responding from these deep childhood patterns. For many people, the family money story is one of struggle and scarcity. Parents who lived through difficult times, grandparents who survived the Depression, generations of families who had to work incredibly hard just to get by. When this is your family history, the energy of struggle gets passed down like a family heirloom. The message becomes that money is hard to come by, that you have to sacrifice and suffer to earn it, that there's never enough to go around. Sometimes the family money story is one of shame or guilt around wealth. In some families, having money or wanting money is seen as somehow wrong or selfish. The message becomes that good people don't care about money, that wanting abundance makes you shallow or materialistic. This creates a terrible internal conflict because part of you naturally desires financial security and comfort, but another part of you feels guilty for having those desires. Then there are families where money is used as a tool of control or manipulation. Children learn that love and money are connected, that approval comes with financial strings attached. This creates complicated feelings about receiving money or asking for financial support because it feels like it comes with conditions or obligations. The challenging thing about these inherited money patterns is that they feel so real, so true. When you've grown up with certain beliefs about money, they become part of your identity. They feel like facts about how the world works, not just opinions or old programming. But here's the beautiful truth. These are just stories. They're not ultimate reality. They're patterns that were learned, which means they can be unlearned and replaced with something much more loving and supportive. Your family did the best they could with what they knew and what they had experienced. There's no blame here, no judgment. They were passing on the money patterns they had inherited from their families. But now, as an adult, you have the power to look at these patterns consciously and decide which ones serve you and which ones you're ready to release. The first step in transforming your money story is simply becoming aware of it. What messages did you absorb about money? What did the adults in your life believe about abundance and scarcity? How did those beliefs shape the way you think about money today? This awareness is incredibly powerful because you can't change what you can't see. Some people discover that their family money story is actually quite positive, but they've picked up limiting beliefs from other sources along the way. Society, media, friends, and even spiritual teachings can sometimes plant seeds of scarcity thinking. The key is to trace these beliefs back to their source and recognize them as old programming that no longer serves you. What's so exciting about this work is that once you begin to see your money story clearly, you can start to write a new one. You can choose beliefs about money that support your highest good, that align with your values, and that open the door to true abundance. This isn't about rejecting your family or your past. It's about honoring your growth and your right to live differently. As we move deeper into this exploration, I want you to hold your discoveries with gentleness. Be curious about your patterns without being critical. Every belief you've held about money served a purpose at some point. Now you're ready for beliefs that serve you even better. Now that we're beginning to see the money story that's been running in the background, let's look at something even more subtle but equally powerful. These are what I call the hidden money blocks, the deeper beliefs and emotional patterns that create resistance to financial flow, often without us even realizing it. One of the most common hidden blocks I see is the connection between self-worth and money. Deep down, many people don't believe they deserve abundance. This isn't usually a conscious thought, it's more like a feeling that lives in the body, a quiet voice that whispers, "Who are you to have wealth?" Or, "You're not special enough for that kind of money." This belief often stems from childhood experiences where love, approval, or recognition felt conditional or scarce. When we don't feel worthy of abundance, we unconsciously sabotage our financial success. We might work incredibly hard but undercharge for our services. We might receive money and then immediately find ways to spend it or give it away. We might have opportunities for financial growth but feel too scared or undeserving to take them. The universe responds to our deep beliefs about what we deserve, not to our surface desires for more money. Another powerful hidden block is the fear of what money might change about us or our relationships. There's often an unconscious belief that having money will make us bad people, that we'll become greedy or selfish or lose touch with our values. Sometimes there's a fear that abundance will separate us from people we love, that friends or family will treat us differently or expect things from us. This fear often comes from observations we made as children about wealthy people, or from cultural messages that suggest money corrupts people. But the truth is that money simply amplifies who you already are. If you're a kind, generous person without money, you'll be a kind, generous person with money. If you're selfish and cruel, money might make those qualities more obvious, but it doesn't create them. Guilt is another hidden block that keeps many people stuck in financial struggle. Some people feel guilty about wanting money when others have so little. They think that their desire for abundance somehow takes away from others, that the universe has a limited supply of good things to go around. This scarcity thinking creates a terrible bind where you feel bad for wanting what you need to thrive. The truth is that your abundance doesn't diminish anyone else's opportunities. The universe is infinitely abundant, and your financial success can actually help others more than your struggle ever could. When you're financially secure, you have more resources to help, more energy to give, more capacity to make a positive difference in the world. Fear of responsibility is another sneaky block that keeps people from financial success. Money brings choices, and choices can feel overwhelming or scary. When you have money, you have to decide how to use it, how to invest it, how to protect it. Some people unconsciously prefer the simplicity of struggle because it eliminates those choices and responsibilities. There's also what I call the unworthiness loop, where people believe they need to prove themselves before they deserve abundance. They think they need to work harder, be better, achieve more, or somehow earn their worthiness through suffering or sacrifice. This creates a pattern where money always feels just out of reach because the finish line keeps moving. Physical tension and stress around money create another layer of blocks. When we think about money, many people's bodies immediately tighten up. Their breathing becomes shallow, their shoulders rise, their stomach clenches. This physical stress response sends a clear message to the universe that money equals danger or discomfort. Our bodies become resistant to the very thing we say we want. Sometimes the hidden blocks come from past financial traumas or betrayals. Maybe you trusted someone with money and they let you down. Maybe you took a financial risk that didn't work out. Maybe you grew up with financial instability that felt scary and unpredictable. These experiences can create protective walls around your heart that keep abundance at a distance. Perfectionism is another subtle block that affects many people's relationship with money. There's often a belief that you need to have all your money management skills perfect before you deserve financial success. You think you need to know exactly how to invest, exactly how to budget, exactly what to do with abundance before it comes. This perfectionism keeps you stuck in preparation mode instead of allowing mode. The beautiful thing about these hidden blocks is that once you bring them into the light of conscious awareness, they begin to lose their power over you. You start to see them as old protective mechanisms that once served you but are now keeping you small. You can appreciate their original purpose while choosing new beliefs and patterns that support your growth and abundance. As we explore these blocks together, notice what resonates with you. Notice what makes your body tense up or what brings up emotional responses. These reactions are gifts of information, showing you exactly where your healing work wants to focus. There's no need to judge or criticize these patterns. They developed for good reasons, and now you're ready to evolve beyond them. The journey from financial struggle to abundance isn't just about changing your thoughts, though that's certainly part of it. It's about healing the deep emotional wounds and fears that keep you separate from your natural birthright of prosperity. It's about reconnecting with your inherent worth and value, independent of your bank account balance. Now that we've looked at these patterns and blocks with loving awareness, it's time for one of the most powerful steps in this entire process: releasing what no longer serves you. This isn't about fighting with your old patterns or trying to force them away. This is about creating space for healing, about letting go with gentleness and grace. The first and most important part of releasing old financial patterns is forgiveness. I know this might feel challenging at first, especially if you've made financial decisions that you regret or if others have hurt you financially. But forgiveness isn't about saying that what happened was okay. Forgiveness is about freeing yourself from the emotional charge that keeps you tied to the past. Let's start with forgiving yourself for any money mistakes you think you've made. Maybe you invested in something that didn't work out. Maybe you trusted the wrong person with your finances. Maybe you overspent or made choices that seemed foolish later. Sweet one, you made those decisions with the information, awareness, and emotional capacity you had at the time. You were doing your best, even if it doesn't look that way from where you stand now. Self-forgiveness around money is crucial because guilt and shame are like heavy weights that we carry, and they make it almost impossible for abundance to flow freely into our lives. When we're constantly punishing ourselves for past financial choices, we're living in the energy of lack and mistake rather than the energy of learning and growth. Place your hand on your heart right now, and let's do this together. Take a deep breath and say these words, either out loud or silently. I forgive myself for any financial choices that didn't serve my highest good. I was doing my best with what I knew at the time. I choose to learn and grow from these experiences rather than punish myself for them. Feel these words in your body. Let them sink into your heart. Now, let's extend that forgiveness to others who may have influenced your financial story. Maybe your parents worried constantly about money and passed that anxiety on to you. Maybe a partner made financial decisions that affected you negatively. Maybe you feel angry at the economy, at the system, at the unfairness of financial inequality. All of these feelings are valid, and forgiveness doesn't mean pretending they don't exist. Forgiveness means releasing the emotional charge so that these past experiences don't continue to control your present financial reality. When we hold on to anger and resentment about money, we're actually keeping ourselves vibrationally aligned with the very experiences we want to change. We're staying connected to the story of being wronged or treated unfairly, rather than opening to the story of abundance and possibility. This doesn't mean you ignore practical lessons from the past or that you put yourself in harmful situations again. It means you take the wisdom and leave the emotional wounds behind. You honor your experiences without letting them define your future. One of the most powerful ways to release old financial patterns is through conscious breathing. Our breath connects our conscious mind with our unconscious patterns, and it also connects our emotional body with our physical body. When we breathe consciously with the intention to release, we create space for new energy to enter our lives. Let's try a simple breathing exercise together right now. Sit comfortably and close your eyes if that feels good to you. Take a deep breath in through your nose, and as you breathe in, think about all the old beliefs and fears you've been carrying about money. Don't try to change them or fix them, just acknowledge them with compassion. Now exhale slowly through your mouth, and as you exhale, visualize these old patterns leaving your body like dark smoke. Breathe in again, this time imagining fresh golden light entering your lungs and filling your entire body. This golden light represents new possibilities, new beliefs, and the energy of abundance. Exhale any remaining tension or resistance. Continue this breathing pattern for a few more cycles, releasing what no longer serves you and welcoming in what supports your highest good. Creating space for new possibilities also means letting go of the need to know exactly how your financial situation will improve. One of the ways we block abundance is by trying to control exactly how it comes to us. We think it has to come through our job, or through a specific opportunity, or in a particular time frame. But the universe is infinitely creative, and abundance can flow to us in ways we never could have imagined. Part of releasing old patterns is releasing the need to figure everything out mentally. Your logical mind is wonderful, and it has its place in financial planning and decision-making. But your logical mind can't orchestrate the kind of miraculous shifts that are possible when you align with the natural flow of abundance. Sometimes you need to step back and let the larger intelligence of life work through you and for you. This is also where we begin to release inherited financial fears that have been passed down through generations. You might be carrying fears that don't even belong to you, fears that made sense for your grandparents or great-grandparents, but have no relevance to your current life and opportunities. These inherited fears often live in our cellular memory, creating anxiety and limitation that feels very real but isn't actually based on present moment reality. As you release these old patterns, you might notice some interesting things happening. You might feel lighter, more hopeful, more open to possibilities. You might also feel a little scared or uncertain, because releasing old patterns means stepping into unknown territory. This is completely normal and natural. When we've been living with certain limitations for a long time, they can feel familiar and safe, even when they're not serving us. Trust the process, sweet one. Trust that as you release what no longer serves you, something much better is making room to enter your life. Nature abhors a vacuum, so as you create space by letting go, abundance rushes in to fill that space. This is one of the fundamental laws of how energy works in our universe. Now that we've created space by releasing old patterns, it's time to consciously rewire your money mindset. This is where we begin to plant new seeds in the fertile soil of your consciousness. This is where you begin to train your mind to think about money in ways that support your abundance rather than limiting it. The foundation of rewiring your money mindset is understanding that money is energy. Everything in our universe is energy vibrating at different frequencies, and money is simply one form of that energy. When you understand this, you begin to see that attracting money isn't about manipulating external circumstances. It's about aligning your own energy with the frequency of abundance. Think about money as a river that's always flowing. The question isn't whether there's enough water in the river. The question is whether you're positioned to receive it. When your thoughts, feelings, and beliefs about money are aligned with abundance, you naturally position yourself in the flow. When your thoughts, feelings, and beliefs are aligned with scarcity, you position yourself outside the flow, even when abundance is rushing right past you. This shift from scarcity thinking to abundance thinking is one of the most powerful changes you can make. Scarcity thinking says there's not enough to go around, that someone else's success diminishes your opportunities, that you have to struggle and compete for the limited good things in life. Abundance thinking recognizes that we live in an infinitely creative universe where there's more than enough for everyone. One of the simplest but most powerful ways to shift from scarcity to abundance is to start noticing and appreciating the abundance that already exists in your life. This isn't about pretending you don't have financial challenges or that everything is perfect. This is about training your attention to see what's working, what you do have, what's flowing well. When you wake up in the morning, instead of immediately thinking about your financial worries, you can choose to appreciate the abundance of breath in your lungs, the abundance of fresh water that flows from your faucet, the abundance of sunlight streaming through your windows. This might sound simple, but it's actually rewiring your brain to look for abundance rather than lack. Gratitude is one of the fastest ways to shift your energy from scarcity to abundance. When you're genuinely grateful for what you have, you're vibrating at the frequency of abundance. You're sending a signal to the universe that says, I receive good things. I appreciate good things. I'm open to more good things. The universe responds to that signal by sending you more things to be grateful for. But there's a difference between gratitude as a technique and gratitude as a genuine feeling. You can't fake gratitude and expect it to work as an abundance magnet. The gratitude needs to be real, needs to come from your heart, needs to be an authentic appreciation for the gifts in your life. This kind of genuine gratitude develops naturally as you practice looking for things to appreciate. Another key part of rewiring your money mindset is changing the internal dialogue you have about money throughout the day. Most people have a running commentary in their minds about money that's filled with worry, stress, and negativity. They think things like, I can't afford that, or money is so tight, or I'll never have enough, dozens of times throughout the day. These thoughts might feel like you're just being realistic about your current financial situation, but they're actually programming your subconscious mind for continued limitation. Your subconscious mind doesn't distinguish between reality and imagination, between what's happening now and what you're thinking about. It simply takes whatever you repeatedly think and feel and works to create more experiences that match those thoughts and feelings. So instead of defaulting to scarcity-based thoughts about money, you can choose thoughts that support abundance. Instead of, I can't afford that, you might think, I choose not to purchase that right now, or I'm focusing my money on my priorities. Instead of, money is so tight, you might think, I'm learning to manage my money wisely, or I'm grateful for the money I do have. These small shifts in language and thinking might seem insignificant, but they have a profound cumulative effect. You're training your mind to relate to money from a place of choice and empowerment rather than from a place of victimhood and limitation. Another powerful way to rewire your money mindset is to begin seeing yourself as someone who naturally attracts abundance. Most people see themselves as people who struggle with money, people who have to work hard for every dollar, people who never catch a financial break. But what if you began to see yourself as someone who money flows easily to? What if you began to identify as someone who makes wise financial decisions, someone who attracts great opportunities, someone who always has more than enough? This isn't about lying to yourself or denying your current circumstances. This is about choosing an identity that supports your growth rather than keeping you stuck in old patterns. Your identity, the way you see yourself, is one of the most powerful forces in creating your reality. When you see yourself as abundant, you begin to act from abundance, make decisions from abundance, and attract experiences that match that abundance identity. Daily practices are essential for rewiring your money mindset because changing deep patterns requires consistent, gentle repetition. Just like learning to play a musical instrument or developing any new skill, rewiring your relationship with money takes practice. But the beautiful thing about this practice is that it's gentle, loving, and supportive rather than harsh or demanding. Every morning when you wake up, you have an opportunity to set the energetic tone for your entire day. Instead of checking your bank account first thing and potentially starting your day with worry or stress, you can begin with appreciation and intention. You can spend a few moments appreciating the abundance in your life and setting an intention to remain open to unexpected good throughout the day. Every evening before you go to sleep, you have another opportunity to reinforce your new money mindset. You can review your day and find at least 3 things related to abundance or prosperity to appreciate. Maybe someone treated you to coffee. Maybe you found a parking space right away and saved money on parking. Maybe you received an unexpected discount somewhere. These small appreciations train your mind to notice the abundance that's always flowing. The key to successfully rewiring your money mindset is patience and consistency. Your old patterns developed over many years, so it's natural that creating new patterns takes time. But every single thought you think in the direction of abundance, every moment of genuine gratitude, every choice to see possibilities rather than limitations is rewiring your brain and shifting your energy. Trust the process and be gentle with yourself as you grow. Now let's move into the practical realm where your inner work begins to manifest as tangible changes in your daily life. This is where your shifting mindset starts to create actual results that you can see and experience. The beautiful thing about combining inner transformation with practical action is that they amplify each other, creating a powerful momentum toward the abundance you desire. Your morning routine sets the energetic tone for your entire day, so how you begin each morning is incredibly important for manifesting money faster. Most people start their day by checking their phone, looking at the news, or immediately jumping into their to-do list. But when you want to accelerate abundance in your life, your morning routine becomes a sacred practice of alignment. Begin each day by taking a few moments to connect with the energy of abundance before you even get out of bed. While you're still lying there, take 3 deep breaths and say to yourself, "Thank you for this new day full of infinite possibilities." Feel genuine appreciation for the gift of another day to create, to receive, to experience good things. This simple practice starts your day from a place of gratitude rather than stress or obligation. Before you check your bank account, your email, or any external sources of information, spend a few minutes visualizing money flowing into your life easily and naturally. This isn't about forcing specific scenarios or trying to control exactly how money comes to you. This is about opening your energy to receive abundance from expected and unexpected sources. See yourself feeling calm and confident about money. See yourself making financial decisions from a place of wisdom and abundance rather than fear and scarcity. As you go about your morning routine, practice treating everything you touch with appreciation. When you turn on the water, appreciate the abundance of clean water flowing freely. When you open your refrigerator, appreciate the abundance of food available to you. When you get dressed, appreciate the abundance of clothing you have to choose from. This practice trains your energy system to recognize and appreciate abundance in all its forms. Create a simple abundance affirmation that feels true and supportive to you, and say it while you're getting ready for your day. It might be something like, "Money flows to me easily and naturally," or "I am open to receiving abundance from unexpected sources," or "I trust that all my financial needs are met with grace and ease." Choose words that resonate with your heart and make you feel hopeful and expanded rather than stressed or pressured. Throughout your day, practice what I call abundance breathing. Whenever you notice yourself feeling stressed or worried about money, take 3 conscious breaths. As you breathe in the energy of trust and abundance. As you breathe out, release any tension or fear. This simple practice keeps you energetically aligned with abundance, even when challenging situations arise. Pay attention to your physical relationship with money throughout the day. When you handle cash, touch it with appreciation rather than desperation. When you make purchases, do so from a place of choice and gratitude rather than resentment or fear. When you pay bills, send the money out with love and appreciation for the services you've received. This might sound unusual, but remember that money is energy, and the energy you send out always comes back to you. Practice generous thinking throughout your day, even if your current circumstances don't allow for generous actions. When you see someone who has something you want, practice feeling happy for them rather than envious. When you hear about someone's financial success, practice celebrating with them rather than comparing yourself. This generous energy opens your heart and aligns you with the flow of abundance. Look for signs of abundance everywhere you go. Notice how much money flows through the world every single day. Watch how easily people make purchases, how naturally money moves from person to person, business to business. Realize that you're surrounded by abundance every moment, and you're simply learning to position yourself to receive your share of this natural flow. Your evening routine is equally important because it allows you to appreciate the abundance that flowed through your day and set positive intentions for the night ahead. Before you go to sleep, spend a few minutes reviewing your day with appreciation. What money came into your life today, even if it was just a few cents in change? What free or discounted things did you receive? What opportunities or possibilities showed up, even if you didn't act on them yet? This evening appreciation practice serves 2 important purposes. First, it trains your mind to notice and acknowledge the abundance that's already flowing in your life, which magnetizes more abundance. Second, it sends positive energy into your subconscious mind while you sleep, allowing your deeper mind to work on attracting more abundance while you rest. Keep a small notebook by your bed where you can write down at least 3 things related to money or abundance that you appreciated about your day. They can be tiny things like finding a quarter on the street, or someone buying you a cup of coffee, or bigger things like receiving unexpected money or discovering a new opportunity. The size doesn't matter. What matters is training your attention to recognize the constant flow of good things in your life. Create visual reminders of abundance throughout your living space. This doesn't mean you need to spend money you don't have on expensive decorations. You can create simple, abundant symbols using things you already have. Maybe it's a bowl where you put loose change and appreciate it growing. Maybe it's a plant that represents growth and abundance. Maybe it's a picture that makes you feel prosperous and grateful. The key with visual reminders is that they should make you feel good when you look at them. If looking at something makes you feel frustrated because you don't have what it represents yet, then it's not serving as an abundance magnet. Choose images and objects that make you feel grateful, hopeful, and aligned with prosperity. Practice handling money with love and respect whenever you interact with it. When you receive money, take a moment to appreciate it before putting it away. When you spend money, do so consciously and gratefully rather than unconsciously or resentfully. When you organize your wallet or purse, do it with care and attention. These small acts of respect send a message to the universe that you value money and are ready to receive more of it. End each day by setting an intention for abundance to flow to you while you sleep. You might say something like, "While I sleep, the universe is arranging wonderful opportunities for abundance to flow into my life." Or, "I wake up tomorrow even more aligned with prosperity and financial ease." Trust that your subconscious mind and the universal intelligence are always working on your behalf, even when you're not consciously thinking about money. These daily practices work because they keep you consistently aligned with the energy of abundance rather than the energy of lack. They train your attention to focus on what's working rather than what's missing. They keep your heart open to receive good things rather than closed by fear and worry. Most importantly, they help you become someone who naturally attracts abundance rather than someone who has to struggle for every dollar.